Hello, the book that I'll be sharing is Sideways Story from Wayside School, originally published by Louis Eckair in 1978 by HarperCollins. This will be the illustrated edition that was published in 1998. The reason I'm choosing Wayside is because it is a childhood book that I grew up with its zany setting, fun characters, and wholesome humor. I've always found it very enjoyable to look back on, even in later years. The chapter that I'll be reading from is Chapter 4, Shari. Shari had long eyelashes. She weighed only 49 pounds. She always wore a big red and blue overcoat. The overcoat weighed 35 pounds, the red part weighed 15 pounds, and the blue part weighed 15 pounds, and the hood weighed 5 pounds. Her eyelashes weighed a pound and a half. She sat next to the window in Mrs. Jewls' class. She spent a lot of time just staring out the window. Mrs. Jewls didn't mind. Mrs. Jewls said that a lot of people learn best when they stare out a window. Shari often fell asleep in class. Mrs. Jewls didn't mind that either. She said that a lot of people do their best learning when they are asleep. Shari spent all of her time either looking out the window or sleeping. Mrs. Jewls thought she was the best student in the class. One afternoon it was very hot. All the windows were open, yet Shari still wore her red and blue overcoat. The heat made her very tired. Mrs. Jewls was teaching arithmetic. Shari pulled the hood up over her face, buried herself in the coat, and went to sleep. "Mrs. Jewls," said Kathy, "Shari is asleep." "That's good," said Mrs. Jewls. "She must be learning something." Mrs. Jewls continued with the lesson. Shari began to snore. "Mrs. Jewls, Shari is snoring," said Kathy. "Yes, I can hear her," said Mrs. Jewls. "She must be learning an awful lot today. I wish the rest of you could be like her." Shari began to toss and turn. She flopped over on top of her desk and then rolled over on top of Kathy's desk. Then she rolled back the other way. Kathy screamed. Shari rolled out the window. She was still sound asleep. As you know, Mrs. Jewls' class was on the 30th story of Wayside School, so Shari had a long way to go. After she had fallen 10 stories, Shari woke up. She looked around. She was confused. She wasn't in Mrs. Jewls' class, and she wasn't at home in bed. She couldn't figure out where she was. She yawned, pulled the hood back up over her eyes, and went back to sleep. By that time, she had fallen another 10 stories. Wayside School had an exceptionally large playground. Louis, the art teacher, was way over on the other side of it when he happened to see Shari fall out the window. He ducked under the volleyball net, hurtled past the kickball field, hopped over the hopscotch court, climbed through the monkey bars, sped across the grass, and caught Shari just before she hit the ground. The people in Mrs. Jewls' class cheered. Shari woke up in Louis's arms. "Darn it, Louis," she said. "What did you go and wake me up for?" "I'm sorry, Shari," said Louis. I'm sorry, Shari repeated. "Is that all you can say? I was having a wonderful dream till you woke me up. You're always bothering me, Louis. I can't stand it." She laughed and hugged him around the neck. Louis carried her back up 30 flights of stairs to Mrs. Jewls' room. That evening, when Shari went to bed, she was unable to fall asleep. She just wasn't tired.